What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome back to another... No, start again. There were so many fucking plans. It's the 150th episode of the podcast. We had a light show, didn't work. We're supposed to have a guest. He didn't turn up. But here, Andy McGivern wrote us a new theme tune, so fucking get that up, yes.
What about that?
That was supposed to be fucking dead cool, and then we started. Keep that in.
Fuck it, because, yeah, I mean, this
typical
is real life.
In typical deck turn yumps fashion. We're supposed to make it look class, but now we're still sitting here in a gay man's sofa in front of a black beach towel, fuck's sake.
That needs ironed. I keep getting told all the time
So I just had my first moment of running out of breath because of vaping. Just talking. That must mean I need more.
Oh, dear Lord, this is getting out of hand, this vaping crack now. We're going to have to speak to the authorities about banning it from in here.
Tell you what, I was sold a dud there. I mentioned last week, I went into the vape shop, and then that guy from GTA 5 was like, bro, you don't want that, bro. I want to show you Heisenberg, dog. It's your shit, man. It's like fruity but minty. Ooh. And I like, what, like George Michael was? He's like, not like that, bro. This is like, do you know what I mean? It's like being surrounded by just ice water. And they were like, Michael Barrymore? Not like that, bro. Dude, trust me.
Barrymore wasn't really the...
I'm sure he dipped in. He was in,
he was in there at some point.
He didn't walk away dry. Like, he definitely had to change his socks at one point. There's no way somebody gets a fucking banister up their ass in the pool and you weren't having a dip.
And in the pool as well.
Do you know what I mean? I've seen toddlers take pishes in paddling pools and I've been in them. I say I made them, probably. I got dark real quick.
That was bad. But there's 150. It's
150 episode of that.
150
years.
Yeah, fucking
jails
hell.
If we're in jail for murder would be out by now.
Oh, would be out surely. Wouldn't even get probably suspended sentence.
Oh Jesus, suspense.
You know how they treat celebrities like yourself, Mike. You know.
Oh, I'm a big celeb, mate. Mm-hmm. Big celeb. Are you making fun of me for dancing on a table? Paddy says, is that what you're trying to get at right now?
I swear to God, I wasn't actually going to...
Is it not because it's the first thing you said to him today? It's the first thing you said to me on Saturday.
I genuinely totally forgot about it until you just said it.
You didn't. You brought it up 10 minutes ago. I haven't stopped thinking about it.
That's the level of my short-term memory. I totally forgot about it there now.
That's the second time you said that.
So let's talk about it then. I mean...
So we went out. And Paddy's there, as is my wont. Want?
Won't, we talked about before,
yeah. It makes more sense my way.
Yeah, I know.
So, it was Paddy's Day.
It was.
Right? Everybody knows there's only one day of the year I like to drink. The rest of the time I have to. To keep the demons out. So here's how it started. Right? Mm-hmm. Paddy's the morning.
Yes.
I wakes up.
You do.
And it says to everybody, listen, I'm not going mad today.
Right.
Right? It says, we're going to Belfast.
And when you say everybody, you just mean the voices in your head? There was nobody else there. Like,
yeah. Everybody around the glass at the table. Right? It says the M4 fellas in the mirror. Right?
The 7 mix.
Aye. It says, right, you boys, no fucking about today. The day. Right?
I don't know why I'm going to Bohemian Rhapsody fucking by it.
Aye, that's what I was going for. It's more like, do you know whenever Zod gets put on that wee triangle in Superman? That's what it's like in my head. It's just that every so often bumps into a dick joke. My brain's like a DVD screensaver. But there's dicks and ditties in every corner, and every so often it hits one. And I go, Willies! Huh? Nothing. So,
for our young listeners, a DVD is...
it's a disease, venereal disease. It's how James Bond tells people he's got gonorrhea. I've a disease, venereal disease. I've got syphilis. No, shingles. I always get them mixed up. So,
well, Sean Connery turns up to a shingles night.
That's very good.
It's just a support group.
Just people picking stuff.
Going, fucking well sore. He was open for the ride.
That's very good. So, Paddy's Day morning, I'm like, here's the plan. Mm-hmm. We're in the Belfast meeting, mate and his fiancée, a couple of her mates. So we'll have a couple. Mm-hmm. I said, be common market, please be rammed. I says, I don't want to get tortured all day.
You don't blend in. Inconspicuous
amongst
the throng.
Right, have a couple. And then I was like, we have to get a train back to Lurgan. I'm not getting on the fucking Mess Express, right? I was like, I'm not going to fucking get on that when everybody's steaming. Just be a disaster, right? Because on the way to Belfast, the train from Lurgan to Belfast was like a train in fucking Delhi. Right, London, Delhi, for our... It was rammed, right? And my I don't want to be the sort of in that modern vein of people that are constantly trying to diagnose themselves with a mild mental condition, or right. But I definitely have some sort of mild autism, ADHD, ADD,
Mild?
OCD. It's mild. It's fucking mild. It's definitely mild. Definitely mild. Definitely. Right. So
You definitely have ADHD, without a doubt.
which one's it? I probably do. Do you think so? I don't think I do. I think I just have a lot of free time. Do you know what I mean? I just don't have that much
One man's
to do.
ADHD is another man's free afternoon.
Aye, I just have a messy calendar. Just not very well organised. I'll have impulse control issues and alcoholism. But, so the train up was fucking rammed, right? And I just get fucking itchy on it, right? Another thing I noticed about Paddy's Day. Nobody's Paddy's Day clothes fit them anymore.
Yes.
That train was full of gad tops and back fat.
Yes, I've seen a lot of snug,
Including
GA
my own.
tops.
I would like to say, the wee green shirt I had on.
But is that because nobody has been really out for Paddy's Day since before lockdown?
I would say, to be honest, I think the gad tops have actually been more refined to fit a better athlete.
Or they just
You think a GA top
use
used to be-
less material because of the cost of living
I
crisis?
genuinely think it's because when you think about GA players used to look, GA players were just smoking on fucking, and now they're all ripped as fuck, but like Marcel.
Yeah.
So now the tops of the fit, it's like the same as rugby tops. Rugby tops used to be like a big baggy, fucking, a warm top you could, right? And now they're these skin tight. You had to be in the serious neck to wear a rugby top.
Yeah.
So I think it's the same thing. Or we're just a lazier society and we're getting fatter.
Yeah, lockdown pounds.
Aye,
are
lockdown
definitely
pounds
showing,
also,
like, yeah.
So I says, I'm not getting on a fucking train home, right? We'll leave at 6. So I went up to Hollywood to do a podcast with Dave Elliott and Donald Doherty, right? Me and David, a can of Guinness each.
Because Paddy's Day.
It was Paddy's Day. And then I said, can you drop me in the Belfast? Because it was going to take ages to get to the, right? So I landed in Common Market. Everybody's got a table, they're all table sorted.
Yeah.
Fucking happy days.
Lovely.
Get in there. Someone's like, there you go, got your fucking 2 Jameson and ginger. I'm like, lethal, right?
Lovely.
I pour the 2 Jameson ginger into the one glass because I think, fuck it.
Because
I'm playing catch up here.
Yeah.
I start hoofing it. And my good lady goes, what the fuck are you doing? There's 4 whiskies in that.
Oh,
and I was
Jesus.
like, it begins! Right? I would say 15 minutes later, I went, we're not getting the train home, we booked the Grand Central.
You know fucking rightly.
So the whiskey was
Always.
flowing. At one point, we hear how drunk I got. I'll talk you through it. So, drinking like fuck, there's a diddly dee band on, right? They're doing covers and stuff,
Yeah.
right? At one point, they go from like Let's Do Varna to Tribute by Tenacious D.
Excellent.
My top near came off, right? I will say that I haven't had a night out, like a proper night out in years, from fucking my 30s.
Yeah.
That was the best night out I'd ever had, and it was at 4:00 in the afternoon.
As any good Paddy's Day should
Like
be.
you would go to the toilet and look out the window and go, it's still broad daylight out there. Right? It was like a fucking unbelievable.
Maybe.
So drink like fuck. At one point, you're a superstar. No, that song comes on,
Yes.
right? I jump upon the table and there's a guy across the fucking bar going like, there's Mickey Pilot. And he starts videoing me. So I start giving it that shit, right? And he's all, "Ooh," right? I get back down. One of my fucking mates, fiance's friends, goes, Mick, get back up on the table. I'm making a TikTok about our Paddy's Day.
Right.
So I'm like, right. So I get back on the table, start dancing again. Nobody gives a fuck, right? So there's a video of me on a table. It just looks like I'm on my own.
As opposed to being with the
Suppose
one other
whenever there's a
person.
guy across the street,
There was one other
it
person.
was enough, man. We had a connection, me and that fella.
There was one person
There
who
was
who
loads of
videoing
people,
you.
but there was me. He was the only one I cared about.
You told me
Come
the
here, I
day
tell you
after. That fucker told me that the whole place was on tables.
No,
Everyone was on tables.
I didn't say everyone was
the
on
first
tables.
time round, the second time round, then nobody got up.
Well, no.
So there was one guy.
I didn't say it in that many words. There was more G's. What happened was, it was like the time we get kicked out of the hard bar. It was about to begin, and then people had second thoughts.
You're always ahead of the time, man. Always ahead of the curve, and you just know. You can feel it, but you're too sensitive.
Listen, all I'm saying is, I didn't get vaccinated. Do you know what I mean?
This happened long
So you
before
can't get
any
it twice, huh?
long before any division of like that. This was a skill you have honed for a long time.
It's a lot of people say it's ADHD, but it isn't. It's awareness fuck disorder. No, fuck begins with F.
It's a sesh awareness disorder.
Yeah,
Sad.
something like that. ASD. Yeah.
No.
Oh, by the way, I've also got dyslexia.
One of my favourite jokes for years is what does DNA stand for? The National Dyslexic Association.
I love that one. I always love Dyslexic of the World. Untie.
Never heard that.
Never heard that one. So, crack gets good, right? Fucking pint. At one point, I see Sean McComb. Fucking.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So me and him's chatting. I don't know if he was drunk or not, but we're walking past each other. We both kept going. Right. I think, are you allowed to do that in Paddy's anymore? No. We're like a fucking. So then we started going. Right? Laugh. It was as if there was nobody else there. 500 people. Right? Me and him fucking.
I want to see the video of that. Somebody has caught that.
Somebody sent me a message at one point. I went to the toilet. Toilets were rammed. And the women's toilets was even more rammed. Yeah. Right? Because you know how it's take the time, part of the nose and mouth. When I arrived, there was a really, really drunk woman, head to toe and going with orange stuff, and she was like a toilet marshal. Girls, come on in here, girls, right? Didn't give one fuck. The bouncers kept telling her, I think the bouncers gave up telling her off because they're like, well, she's actually kind of helping the traffic here, so not to worry about it. I came out of the toilet at one point, and some girl went, oh my God, Mickey Bartlett didn't wash his hands. Now, somebody texted me this, I don't really remember this. So this girl goes, apparently, oh my God, Mickey Bartlett doesn't wash his hands. And on the way out the door, I went, I said I didn't take a shite like you tramp.
Jesus Christ.
If that was you, madam, I apologise. But it was all, it was banter. Do you know what I mean? There was one snake left in Ireland. It was in that toilet after she was finished. Like brown one. So then, me and herself, we goes, right, we'll head back to the hotel here. We'll check into the hotel. We'll go back out. Right? Went to the hotel.
Oh, we're talking time-wise here now. You started
at 6:30. I'd been there for 2 hours. So...
You did all that?
Man, I got wired into it. Like,
holy
here,
fuck.
out early, home early. It's your motto.
I live by it.
Homius in Latin. So get to the hotel, go up to the fucking fancy cocktail bar. I cannot believe they let us in because I was like, do you do old fashions? So she had a cocktail. I had 2 old fashions because
it's she,
right? And then barman goes, we'll do something that's better than an old fashioned. It's essentially an old fashioned, but there's a wee fucking.
What do they know their audience?
Like,
don't think they know their audience, right? Of course.
And I'm like, we'll give them 2 of them as well. He's like, he goes, are you sure you don't want to have one in case you don't like it? I was like, I'll like it, like I'll be out. Right? So be it 2 of them into it. Stagger back to the room, right? At one point, Sean McComb was there with his wee lad in the common market. And they were like dancing, and I went, oh, it's dead cute. And I took a photo. I was like, I must send it to Sean later. That's a class wee photo of the 2 of them, right? So get up the stairs, into the room. I order a bottle of Prosecco for the room. Of course you do, right? Start drinking that. I'm about to send Sean McComb the photo of him holding his wee lad, and I go, oh no, that just looks creepy as fuck. I was just across a bar, took a photo of you and your son. Here's one for you. Like as if he doesn't have a camera in the house or something. Do you know what I mean?
As if nobody's ever given him a photograph of him and his child before.
And then I spent the rest of Paddy's night drinking Prosecco in the dark, trying to like keep my vape charged with my mind.
So you didn't go back out again?
No, I didn't make back out. No,
Thank
couldn't
fuck.
have.
What?
Well, you couldn't get anywhere because by that time anyway. Like,
yeah, it was.
So when we were leaving Cathedral Quarter, the Thirsty Goat and all those bars there was queues the whole way down past the Black Box.
Jesus.
And you're like, have you never been to a pub before? Surely you know by now. There's more people in this queue than that bar holds.
Yeah.
Plus the bar's busy. That's why you're in a queue.
Yeah.
Would you not just go and get a pint somewhere?
Somebody told me they waited 2 hours, and I was like, 2
Why would you do that?
hours of your day
I wouldn't wait
wasted.
2 hours for fresh water. I'd drink puddle water. Do you know what I mean? I'd find the dog taking a piss and I'd sip it through my shirt like Bear Grylls.
No, 2 hours is just, yeah. You're fucking most
What's
of your
the point?
day gone.
What
yeah.
is the point?
Look what you got done in 2 hours.
You know what I mean? You have to really want it, ladies and gentlemen. You have to be able to try.
But here's the thing: is you also same as the same rule applies to the drinking as applies to the boxing. You have to put the training in.
Oh shit!
And by fuck you do, sir.
Train hard, fight easy.
There was nobody more prepared for the Battle of St. Paddy's Day than you.
Oh, 100%. Because I'll tell you this: I got a wee bit drunk Monday night, and I got fucking pretty put through William Thompson Wednesday night.
Oh my god! What'd you do? Oh no!
Conor, this is very funny.
Okay.
It might not be.
They're the best ones. Always love one. Whenever you see that face on Bartlett, you know, oh shit, this could go either way.
So, William and I were gigging. It was me, William, and Andrew Ryan. We're gigging in Birmingham on Wednesday night, right? So, a couple of weird things about it. I was supposed to do a whole sort of week-long run around England when I booked that gig, so it made sense, right? Couple got cancelled, ended up getting a corporate day after Paddy's Day and all that sort of shit, so I was like, right, fuck it, I'll just go to Birmingham, do the gig, come back, right? Flights were dear as fuck, because Cheltenham was on.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Booked a hotel at the airport, because the flight back was so early in the morning, I was like, I'd rather just walk across the street than have to worry about getting in, right? So, going to the gig, get the train to do the gig. So I found myself weirdly almost going into a fit of depression because I was walking towards this gig. It was pissing down. It was really cold. And I was thinking to myself, fuck, I used to do, like I was losing money on the gig. I was thinking, I used to do this and like convince myself that the money, like even if I was breaking even, I was still making money. Right? And going, I'd live like that for 10 years. I hope that never happens again. Right? So I'm getting all fucking weird out. Down to the gig and I'm like, I'm not drinking. Right? And then the guy running the gig is like, oh, we've got a bar tab set up. And I'm like, well, give me a Jameson ginger. I was like, I'm making a double because these English cons have wee measures. Right? So then, I wanted to watch Andrew Ryan, right? So I'm watching Andrew's set. By the time his set's finished, I'm like, fuck, the train back to the airport. I'm not going to, there's no train, right? So William's like, well, listen, I'm getting an Uber back to my hotel. Jump in the Uber with me. Because an Uber back to the airport was going to be 40 or 50 quid.
Right, okay.
William's like, jump in with me. And then the Uber's only going to be fucking 15 quid for you, right? I'm like, happy days. So we get out at William's hotel, and he's like, do you want, we'll have one, like? I was like, no, it was in an Ibis, so we're just drinking tins of gin and tonic and Jack and Coke and stuff like that, right? Now, I left there about 1, 2 in the morning. There's a point that, like, we hadn't threw the cans in the bin, so you look at the table and you go, it's a wild fade, like. Right?
And you obviously pre-bought these, like these were...
You just bought them at the there's a fridge in the hotel.
Also even more expensive too than...
Probably were, right? No, they weren't that bad. No. Weren't that bad. So that's grand, right? So back to the hotel, fucking get a sleep, all that sort of wake up, and I'm like, right, I'm fucking loads of time to get to the airport. It's there. I'm in the airport, right? So get a shower, do my hair and all, have a wee coffee, have a wee biscuit. And all. Oh, best
treat yourself and all,
Biscoff. Oh, right? Walking across the airport, and I get to... Have you ever been in Birmingham Airport?
No.
So the security line goes around a corner, right? So I get there of a good half an hour, 40 minutes before the call the
final boarding.
No, before the call, like even the gate.
Oh, the gate, okay.
Right, so I'm like, I'm fucking that's playing him.
Yeah.
Get there, William texts me going, here, you in the airport, and I look up. It was like that. Looked up at the queue and I went, fuck that. Came back out, bought me and him fast track tickets. Right now, as we're going through the fast track, I look at the queue and I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating. There must have been a good 15,000, 20,000 people. There must have been at least 1,000 people, right? Which I've never seen in our... No, would you see 1,000 people in airport security?
Not 1,000, no.
Well, it was 1,000 then. Right. Do you know what I mean? Whatever you can think is too many, that's what it was. And it was just fucking... Like, you couldn't even see... They were so
where that
packed
security
in.
was, yeah.
Yeah. You're like, they're not even snaked in. And as we're walking, we're like, shit, that's the queue to scan your boarding pass to get into the next queue, right? So we get around the fast track, fucking walking ahead, then we get this other bit, and there's a queue, and it's not moving. And I'm like, William, we've got fucking... We've 10 minutes before this fucking thing goes, right? Now, if you listen to local podcasts, you'll know that William has a condition called cerebral palsy. So I looked...
Oh, you didn't.
I looked.
Oh, you didn't.
I looked.
Oh.
And saw the disabled access queue.
Oh, no.
Connor, don't know me yet, because I didn't do anything wrong yet. And I looked at William, and I went like this. William Thompson goes, do you want to see the tape back and get you on Channel 4? I'm like, absolutely. And he turned his foot in. Right. So I'm walking behind him. And as we're getting close, because he does know he has the sunflower lanyard. He just didn't have it with him. So he's like, I'll just tell her.
Yeah.
Fucking the crack. So he's walking up to this woman, and he goes, excuse me. Sorry, it was a guy first. He goes, I have a sunflower, I forgot my lanyard. We have to get on this flight. Do you mind if I go through the whatever? And as he's talking to the first guy, I started thinking, oh fuck, I don't have cerebral. What if?
No.
What if they let him in?
Oh no.
And don't let me in. And I didn't do it, but I could feel my hand going.
Oh no. Oh no.
Do you know what I mean? And I was like, well, I just come here. Like, what should I do? Do you know what I mean? What should I do? Right. So William goes, explains to this woman, she goes, absolutely no problem, and lets us both through. And then I started thinking, hold on, fucking, did I look disabled?
maybe you could be his carer.
See, that was the thing.
What happens?
I was trying to get his bag off him. I was like, I'll carry your bag. It makes me look like I'm your carer. And then he was all fucking Protestant pride kicked. He was a long time himself. I'm like, mate, see if I don't go on this fucking plane. Because it's great to have a disabled friend sometimes.
Oh, fuck! I was so dreading there. I didn't.
But there was that's how fucking when you're hungover and you're in a panic, and all I could think was, but what about me? What if they don't let me in?
Oh,
and
my
then
God.
we got to the fucking security, like empty your bags and stuff. They're very polite in Birmingham. There's a woman there. 4 lads from Belfast who know us from stand-up are going, don't let them 2 fucking dickheads in. There's nothing wrong on wackers, right? So, turns out they work in Birmingham, and every morning or every week they fly home.
Yeah.
You know, the airport's rammed. And they go, in Birmingham Airport, you just go, my flight's in 5 minutes, and they just put you, like, they bring you right to the front. Whereas in Belfast, they just take you out the front and shoot you, or whatever. So we did all that for nothing, and then the flight got fucking delayed for a
Fucking typical.
Very stressful morning. Very stressful.
Oh, fuck, I could just see you two. I just swore I
See, to be fair,
I was so worried there. I thought
to be fair, Willie had been on the road for 5 days, so he was knackered, like. And his,
when he gets tired,
when he gets tired,
he can. Yeah.
So as it actually got through security, I was going, give me your bag, you cunt.
Because he is
like,
there is that pride thing as well too, but you can also physically see him.
Oh man, he's fucking. At least we tank, but he was knackered.
Could you imagine the fucking? You decided to put on some sort of limp, and then 4 boys from Belfast seeing you coming and walking behind them.
Your thrasses. At a flare. I was picking it again.
In fairness, there was one point during the whole thing where
Willie to beat me in a race.
he would have fucking hammered you.
100%.
I'll never forget that night in Noma where I had to stop the traffic to let you cross the road.
That was a bad one.
Like, you were so in pain that night we did the live podcast. You were in so much agony. It took you so long to get across, and you had to park across from Daly, so the big gap across.
Oh, I remember being like, thank fuck there was a space there.
Yeah,
because had it been down the street, I'd have just went, mate, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. just be and yums.
That was fucking rough.
Oh Lord.
Thanks for trying to bail me out there, but going, you've been paying too. The moral of that story is I was such a cunt for a second I thought I would pretend to be disabled just so I could get home in time for a sausage soda before the deli closed.
London Deli.
First our Clydesdale Island. So it was a while back we at the Lincoln.
Oh Jesus! I do love living via your life, via osmosis.
Man, do you know? Honest to God,
I don't have that excitement.
Walking to that gig on Wednesday night, for the first time genuinely, I went, I'm too old for this.
Right.
Fully just went, no fucking way am I doing this again. Because this weekend I'm in Liverpool and Manchester, and I'm doubling up, and I'm going, I think I'm going to maybe break even. Over the weekend, and I'm going, what's the fucking point? And it's the first time ever. Normally I'm all like, this is cool, this is romantic, it's an adventure.
Yeah.
Fucking life on the road. I'm a bohemian, and now I'm like, no, I'm not. I have gas heating and a fucking big TV.
Yeah. And in the comedy scene, you live at the beach, and then you're flying over to go to the leisure centre to go and swim. You know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, I suppose that is a good way to put it, actually. Yeah.
Like, what? Why?
I have a steak at the house and we're eating burgers.
Yeah, but you've always been... I do, again, an element of the old ADHD. Is that you've always been travelling, you've always wanted to be on the go, you're always constantly... Like, out of all of us over the last 10 or 12 years, you were the only one that was... up and down the mainland, as the
look at the good it did me. Fucking sitting vaping fentanyl. Oh, aye. Fat as fuck, my liver's fucked, my lungs are fucked, fucking hair's falling out, my skin falls off. What a great fucking investment of time that was. Jesus Christ.
But look at your stand-up.
Aye, fucking. Watch that. I don't have any new stand-up. I have loads of new stand-up. Come to Manchester on 22nd of April. For the love of fuck, come to Manchester.
Oh, yeah.
What time's your flight home next day? We'll talk about this afterwards, come on.
It's like 11 or something in the morning, so it's there.
Should we take a couple?
Oh, Jesus, no.
Oh, lunch over, no? Is it not, no?
I'll be over vestige.
I know I'm
my head.
gonna have fucking 3 nights in a Premier Inn.
Oh, lovely.
Just me, Lenny Henry, and
Oh, mighty. I treated myself to a nice wee place now.
Did you?
Aye.
Where?
The townhouse in Manchester.
Well, there you go, ladies, fellas. You need to know.
Well, I to be close to the Cutta, just to be down near the students' part, down that direction. Oh.
You can tell by the way I use my walk on one man. I brought a guest with us today, and I haven't even took it out of the fucking surprise.
You brought a substitute guest.
Yes.
The guest we were supposed to have was
unavailable.
Don't
even speak his name.
Won't even say his name.
Don't even speak. Well, maybe if you said 3 times, he'll turn up. Pedro Pascal, Pedro Pascal, Pedro Pascal.
Well, by the love of fuck, would you...
I got this for my birthday. Best present I've ever got in my life. Right. Don't mind the smell. I haven't rinsed them.
So this is the inflatable Pedro? Or is it... Oh, sorry. No, I don't mean inflatable, but you know what I mean.
I'm saying that. He's just because he's a celebrity doesn't mean he's... Get off that Jew. In front of people.
And was he allowed to talk, or?
Well, yeah. What do you want to ask him?
Where did this start? Where did it begin, Pedro?
Well, I was born in Chile. And then my parents moved to America to escape the evil president of Chile, President Con Carne.
Is that Mark Concarne? Is it?
See.
Marco Concarne?
See. You can chat away, do you, like?
Pedro, currently, what are you working on at the moment? What are you filming?
None of the Lorien. In the last of us.
And are you allowed to bring Mickey on site to the on set, or?
See.
You're full of a lot of answers there, Pedro. You're I thought you would be more succinct than you're writing, but
well, sometimes it is hard to talk properly when I am so full of other. What are you saying? The last of us was a pleasure to make, and I was also in a movie called Narcos. You may have seen me in other things too. Lovely cup of tea.
And are there any signs of any wedding bells?
Would you get off that?
Geez, well, something like that. You'd imagine maybe that there may be. There's a lot of passion still. You're early in your relationship, but
it's not a real relationship. We're just friends, not right, Pedro? See,
right?
We are very good friends. Have you seen Narcos? I've seen it also. Pedro Pascal.
And do you like it when?
What was your favorite bit of Narcos? The time I killed Pablo Escobar.
Do you take your partner out in public, Pedro? Do you show?
He is not partners. We are just very good friends.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you may have worked together.
Not yet. We are planning to work together. I would love to. Season 4 of The Mandalorian.
Okay.
I'm going to play adolescent Yoda. Just going to let him grow up a wee bit.
So a teenage Yoda?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Teenage Yoda and Ninja Turtle. It's a crossover thing. Disney bought them all up. All right, Pedro?
Homer Simpson's playing Splinter. They're all under the umbrella, yes.
Yes.
See. And Pedro, is there a role for Pedro within this?
Oh, there's a role for Pedro and everything.
Okay.
All right, Pedro? Just nodding there.
Are we allowed to ask what the actual story is with the nakedness? Is that just
he just likes alternative clothing. Tell you what, all joking aside, wasn't paying the whole carrying that through Finland.
I did think of that when you came in. I thought you just walked down the main street.
It was even bigger pain the whole having to put it into an Audi TT because
you've no boot.
I had to set him up in the back seat. And you can only see his wee face out the window. And it looked like a kidnapping, didn't it? See? 36.
And Pedro, what made you fall for a guy that had an Audi TT?
Why are you making it out like we're some sort of fucking gay lovers? We're not. We're just really good.
He seems to be. Now, you find this in most relationships, one person isn't willing to admit the level of love. And it seems that, something's popping out there. So
we're not lovers, we're just friends. All right. Pedro! Not here. Not here, no.
Pedro, I don't know if you know this, but as you can see, Mickey has a A-level in performing arts and drama. And
Believable as fucking. See.
Can you tell us about your time in South America, Pedro, before you came to the United States?
No. He's a mysterious fella.
Okay, well, we'll not delve too much into personal. What did you have for breakfast this morning?
I am eating meat and fasting. So nothing yet. He's
Okay,
intermittent fasting, he says.
Oh, he's fasting?
No, actually,
Oh,
he hasn't anything to eat yet.
Oh, okay. Are you doing that for Lent?
He
Is that what it
has.
is?
Was it? He did just tell me he wished he'd pick something easier to say.
Okay, yeah.
He gets shy too.
And obviously, he must be, I assume he's a Catholic, being from Pedro, yeah. I mean, he'd be doing Lent, wouldn't he? He'd be off. What are you off for Lent, Pedro?
He's getting shy now because you're asking about religion.
Oh, okay.
I can't even say that. That's wild.
He's a rascal, eh? Pedro Rascal. Pedro Rascal. So, now stop that because it's getting very strange now.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to play anymore. Do you reckon we could launch him over the back of the sofa if I just let go of him?
Oh, would he pop? Would he pop?
No.
No. Just leave him there. He'd be all right. Pedro, just sit there and just do what you're told. Now, here's my question.
Why? It's because it's not necessarily funny to think about.
Okay, well, the why is the thing, but what is it?
Oh, it's an attack doll.
Huh?
No, it's not. It's one of them fake love dolls.
Well, that's what I mean. So it's not actually a sex doll.
I don't imagine so.
I think it's not the air hole.
Nah, there's no.
No, there's nothing there. Oh, okay. Oh, it looked like there was.
No.
No, nothing.
Suppose you could bagpipe it.
Ah, well, maybe. And what about underneath Pedro's beautiful facade?
I don't think there's anything under there.
Nothing, no.
Much like the actual Pedro. Nah.
No.
Why would you want me to? We could organise something. Throw a bit of ham on the bottom of it.
Well, that's what we could do something like.
Put a donut in and see if you can.
That's the rear end because it's a gravy ring.
Scott, do you know what? I'll tell you, to be honest with you, I'm kind of mentally tired from all that improvising. You're going to tuck it out of me. But we'll clip it.
There was a lot of weird moments there for the 150.
You didn't know what I could do if it was
I
ventriloquist.
couldn't believe how good you were. Actually, I could barely see your lips
Very,
moving.
very good.
You're very, very good.
Oscar call. I mean, it's basketball, so you do it.
Say it again there.
Yeah. Gogger, gonker, gonker. That's Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Well, fucking your skills are.
Ask me anything to say in a ventriloquist voice, I can do it. It's very, very easy. There's
Any phrase at all?
Yeah.
Let me see. Everything is relative.
dead easy.
Go.
I'll do it in slow motion so you can see it. But seem to speed it up. Everything is relative.
It's perfect.
Yep. That's why Emu didn't talk.
No, that's what it is.
Fucked. Learn the noble craft of throwing your voice.
There's three fucking shapes in them. Was it? How was it hacked? Was it Parkinson? Wasn't it? I used to love it.
We're all holding. Let's put him away now because I couldn't be able to hold him. Pedro, night. Don't melt in that light. Will he melt in that light?
Yeah.
See me just sitting here like, huh?
Oh, I just had a vision of the fucking Only Fools and Horses. When it just rises. The heat makes it rise. It just comes popping up behind your head. So there we are. That's all the preparation for the 150.
That was everything we'd done. We planned so much money.
Yeah. We had so many other stuff, and we nearly set the studio on fire.
Let's not talk about that.
Not talk about that, because Barry might be listening. And we had a guest.
Is it possible to burp vape?
I'm going to just say to you there, that sounded like a watery, liquidy burp.
I imagine that's the last sound you make before you drown.
Yeah, sometimes it's also like the last sound you make before you die.
Well, that's what drowning is. Dying in water.
Yeah, but I mean without the water. I mean, you fucking... Don't you fucking...
Jesus Christ. Fucking, you could have gone to the security where William Noble. Questions like that.
Oh my God.
I'm so immature. I went to see Frankie Boyle last night.
Oh. The Master. The other problem with vaping too is you kind of have to pause
Yeah,
then.
you
For,
have to do
yeah.
that.
So give me that fucking thing over
No.
here.
I don't need it, but it's mine. They're precious. Fucking phenomenal.
Man.
Like modern Frankie Boyle, 2023's Frankie Boyle is I would say he's in George Carlin level of socio-political commentary.
Yeah. But
I read it on the back of the flyer.
I was very impressed there. Was it but sometimes with Carlin it felt more like statements than jokes. Was that what happened?
He does a great thing of like he told a joke, then dissects the joke, and then does the rest of the show having given you the knowledge of how he gets there.
Maybe.
So he tells a joke quite early on, and I think he actually got a bit of weird bit of trouble for it. Where he says he was on a date with this woman at her work's dinner party, and they were talking to a bunch of people, and someone says, "Right, you have to kill somebody." It's like marry, fuck, kill, but it wasn't all three. It was like go for dinner with somebody and kill somebody. And this guy says, I would go for dinner with Jeremy Corbyn and I would kill Philip Schofield. And the reason being because Philip Schofield gave Jeremy Corbyn a really fucking bad interview. And he reckons he's part of the reason why he lost the election. And Frankie Boyle goes, sorry, the spoiler, Frankie Boyle goes, well, if we're playing by the old rules, I would kill Holly Willoughby, then fuck her. And he goes, no, I'm only joking. Obviously, I'd fuck her first. But then he dissects the joke and kind of goes, what he's talking about in the context of that story. If you have to kill somebody, so how serious is it? And he made a really, really great point about the power of a comedian. Where he goes, comedians don't have power. Comedians say things about the powerful. Powerful people do things to weak people.
Yeah.
And he goes, the only reason that it's been given the same level of credence these days is because it's on a fucking timeline on social media where you can go between each one on the same scroll. And he goes, to tell you how powerful comedians are, he goes, I can't get on Richard Osman's House of Games and it's recorded in a studio next to my house. Do you know what I mean? So it's fucking... Yeah. And I think only a comedian like him can sort of go through that era of being the Frankie Boyle of just slagging people off. And even though he explains himself, anytime he was slagging things off, he was slagging off the media circus around it and the way people react and behave to things as opposed to the actual individual people. When he was talking about like Harvey Price and stuff like that. Yeah. So it was fucking great, man. It's great to see, like, because you can see that his audience is made up of a whole fucking mixture of people.
Right, yeah.
Because there were two people in front of us didn't laugh once.
Right.
And you get the impression you don't really watch that much comedies. You're only here because you've heard of them.
Yeah.
And then
you've got that celebrity thing I talked to you about.
Yeah.
You're not there to see a comedian, they're there to see a celebrity.
Yeah. So it was fun. And then one of the weird, it's been a really, really long time since I've sat watching a stand-up show where I haven't been fucking hiding at the back or backstage watching from behind the curtain.
Yeah.
So I didn't know, and this is again ADHD or whatever. It felt very, very odd waiting for a show to start, and you can hear all these conversations. And I was like, "Is this what it sounds like when I'm over there shit myself?" Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And like, just looking at
bring
people,
yourself back into being a punter
like,
again.
Look at his hair. Oh, right, fuck, I'm not that fat. Just be a Giants fan, right? Right. Again, we're making fun of the. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Learn an awful lot. But I couldn't. I had a point where I couldn't fucking even enjoy the show because you're watching as a comedian. I couldn't turn my brain off. Yeah, he's that thought provoking.
You're dissecting it then as the performance and the material and the whole lot. Like,
and then every so often he just slaps you in the face with a joke where because I remember seeing Frankie Boyle years ago, and years and years ago when he was still doing that sort of the more shock value stuff, and I thought it for a second last night. I was going, I know what the punchline is going to be, but I had no fucking idea what the setup was going to be, and I was more, I was almost more impressed with the setups, and the subject matter, and the one joke that fucking floored me. It's again, it's playing with the form because some of it was kind of hacky.
Right. Okay.
So he's like, he goes, "How do you know they'd never filmed The Matrix in Scotland?" Because if somebody offers a Scottish person 2 pills, he'd take both of them. And then he said a thing about who am I thinking? I'm maybe thinking of something else. I'm thinking of something else.
You're already moved on to somebody else.
Some rescue dogs. I heard something. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day, where there would. Is it him or fuck? See, this is what happens. I watch too much comedy, right? Somebody had a thing about rescue dogs that they thought a rescue dog was like a rescue dog, not a rescue dog. So like
you do that?
Like no, I do a thing about like I didn't rescue my dog.
Oh, right,
but this was somebody going, oh, a rescue dog's like a dog that'll run in a burning building and save people. They go, no. This is a dog that only has 3 legs. It was him. He goes, I was expecting a dog with a wee cape. And he goes, I was definitely expecting to have all its legs. And then the one joke, he goes, I thought I saw a superhero once, but it turned out it was a depressed clown jumping out of a block of flats in Glasgow.
Mighty.
And
fucking
that one
brilliant.
fucking murdered me. He'd some fucking brilliant, like... And again, it's amazing because he's what he's doing is talking very seriously about the way politics is going and then throws in these fucking...
Yeah.
It's
genius. Like
brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He has to go down in history as one of the best comedians.
Yeah, I've always... I don't, as you know, I don't watch comedy, but before I stopped watching, he was the last one. I was like, okay, he could always write a joke. Always could write a fucking, even if it was a shock one or whatever. As you say, his rhythm, his pattern, it was always great.
Brilliantly. And then weird heckles. So there was still an element of people turning up, wanting it to be fucking.
Oh yeah.
Right. So one man who I couldn't tell because where we were sitting, I would love to know what the fuck he was saying, but we were up on one of the balconies. I could see him waving, right. And then eventually he stood up and he's walking out like that, like walking out of the aisle or out of the road, fucking. And Frankie's just cracking on. And then it got to the point where he's like, he had to stop and be, what the fuck are you doing? And the guy stood still. And he's like, fucking. And I'm like, is this guy walking out at an offensive joke? Or is he just wanting to have.
Well, he's doing that. It sounds like he's having a rave in his fucking head.
Aye, so I was like, I don't know if is he just wanting Frankie Boyle to stop and go, what the fuck's wrong with you? So he can, because from the back of his head, from above him, I got this vibe of, oh, you're one of these cunts who'll go home going, I made the entire night.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Frankie destroyed him. Now, it might have been a good 5 minutes, right? And something that fucking, there's 2 events like people sitting to the side of the stage, and they're just watching it.
Well,
and I don't know whether or not, I dare say they would have had a conversation backstage of how long do you want us to let hecklers go for before we kick them out?
But
do you want us to jump on them straight away?
Somebody running through with their hands waving there is not a heckler.
Aye, that's just disrupting everything. Like,
that's the equivalent of a football match and a streaker running the pitch.
So eventually, 3 more events like people come in, right? And the door from the side of the stage opens and Frankie goes, oh, I just saw a bright light. I think that's your taxi, right? And the events that people come over to kick the guy out, he goes back to the seat, sat back down, and they let him stay. And then, sure enough, right before the end, but 20 minutes before the end, he fucking did it again. But this time he just left, but he was waving as he left. And again, I would love to know.
I'd love to be.
I'd love to know. Was he offended by something? Was he fucking? Because I think it came at the end of a sort of a.
But he didn't shout nothing. He didn't.
You couldn't tell.
Right. Okay.
He might have been.
Right. Okay.
But Frankie Boyle had the mic and was louder.
Yeah.
We were behind him, so I don't know. But it felt like it came at the end of a sort of an anti-DUP joke.
Right.
So yeah, it's just, I would love to know what he said.
Yeah, you just love to be in there. Like, is it that, as you say, is it somebody that thinks I genuinely added to that show, or are they offended, or is that their, even if they're offended, is that their way to show offense?
Do you know the only ooh that came out? The only the whole night was the punchline was about, and I can't remember what the setup was, but the punchline was about them playing football on Christmas Day in World War One.
Right.
Now he was doing Frankie Boyle. You think of how dark he can go, and the crowd went, "Ooh," and you're like, "What?" Even he went, "What the fuck?" Like, so it's because that's another thing as well. If I'm in a show, like, I'd be watching the audience. You could go into comedian mode of like,
I check
why is this cunt not laughing? Why are you not laughing? It was very interesting, but brilliant. He was fucking phenomenal.
It is nice to get that experience sometimes of sitting out into that you're not on. And you're just a
because the last time I did it, me and Aaron McCann went and got steamed with John Mulaney, and that was a waste.
Yeah, I had to sit this time and be like observant.
Aye, it was great.
You might have been at the other show, Like Your Man, probably by the time we were fucking the amount of drink you took that night.
Aye, now I'll say this. Right? I remember at the last one going to McCann. I need glasses of my fucking steaming because I can see two of him up there. And McCann went, "Oh, sir, I'm fucking full head." So we left early because we thought, kind of just thought
we didn't really want to. Didn't want to be.
I didn't want to say how drunk we were. Like it
didn't want to cause a scene.
Very embarrassing. And then I realised last night, no, I genuinely do need glasses because it could have been Frankie Boyle or anybody in a suit. I was like, fucking.
I was talking to somebody last night. Was there? Apparently, there was some American comedian in Limelight a couple of months ago, and there was a scene at it. And I couldn't remember. It wasn't Kevin Hart. But I couldn't remember who it was.
Was it what else?
A scene, like, there was a real, like, melee people had to be put out before the show even started.
Look, I don't know.
Because I was talking to one of the people who was put out last night at it. And it all kicked off before the show even started. And I was like, oh, normally we hear about them things.
What kicked it off? Do you know what the...
there was a traveller woman was in watching the show, and she was steaming. And she was chatting then with the group in front, and this girl was there. But this girl was a friend of who was a fan of the person. So this girl wasn't who I was talking to. Was just brought along, and the crack all started in their wee group because they were all steaming. Apparently they were drinking bucky and all that sort of crack, and then they didn't stop when the show started. So they were asked to leave, and then apparently there was digs thrown and everything. The women were fucking hitting bouncers, and and I was like, I wonder who the American comedian was or who that was happening at.
Do you know what? I have heard a similar story. I can't remember who it was. Was it Kevin Hart?
Don't know. Whoever it was, I just thought, fucking, normally we hear about that. And then another guy I was talking to, this was at a gig last night, and another guy then was at the Delamere show when the woman was put out. Remember we talked about this? The woman fell asleep.
Is that what happened to her?
She fell asleep during Chris Kent, and Chris must have acknowledged it at some point. And when she woke up, she went, I'm a nurse, I save lives.
And he goes, just because you're a nurse doesn't excuse you for being a cunt or something. Chris opened for Frankie last night. It was brilliant. So.
Was he? He was up in. Did he do it? Was Frankie doing 2 nights? No,
it might have been 3.
Oh, right, okay. Because I definitely seen Kent had put up something where it said he hadn't used somebody I knew was doing the warm up, but I couldn't think who it was.
It's one of those, like, it's weird too with Frankie Boyle for some reason. The more I'm fucking talking about it, the more I go, and then he did this bit, and then he did this bit, and I'm like, it's so nice to be stone cold sober or something like that. Because I can't remember a word John Mulaney said, and I couldn't wait to see that game. Same with Louis C.K. We're having a fucking clue. In fact, Louis C.K. did the same show on a live stream online. I watched that drunk. I have a fucking clue what happened. I've fucking seen it twice.
You've seen it in person?
I've seen it twice. Once
and
from 10 feet away. And I'm like, I have no idea. No idea.
Oh, fuck, you are the King Blitzer.
Oh, man, I need a nap at the head.
No.
Fucking, no, it's at that point, man. I'm too... And
at that point, about 8 years ago?
I didn't. 8 years ago was only 28. That's prime time. I know, I'm getting fucking too old for it.
Too old for it,
Too old for it now. So I have 3 or 4 bottles of whiskey left in the house. We'll finish them the night, maybe. And then I've a bottle of Bollinger to finish. Once I finish that, and the 2 bottles of gin.
There might be another bottle of whiskey to deal with.
And I have a wee bottle of Japanese whiskey.
I got paid with a bottle of Pachin last night.
Probably drink actually.
So you probably have to drink that. I'll never drink it, so.
I'll take a wee joint off you later as well.
Not a bit then, I suppose. I
have a Coke bowl needs cleaned out. I might as well use my nose.
But then summer comes in.
But man, again, my summer's going to have to be fucking... I'm going to have to... Because I cannot do the Edinburgh Fringe the way I used to do the Edinburgh Fringe. I can't be drunk every fucking day.
But again, I'm not going to lie to you now. Mon frere.
Uh-huh.
I don't think anybody can do the Edinburgh Fringe the way you do the Edinburgh Fringe.
Robbie Burns himself would have tapped out a long time ago,
last
sir.
Last time I was there was for 3 nights, and I went, how is that cunt doing that for 28 fucking nights? I was absolutely fucked.
Do you know what's...
That was the night we found the fucking...
Found the trolley.
Found the trolley and all that crack.
Where's the Wayne? That was a good night. That was a very good night. That was the night you took me to that bar where it was karaoke and nobody had legs.
That's right.
Fucking never seen anything like that in my life. Never seen anything like that in my life.
It was actually a scene of Rob Scene Esmond.
That was fucking hysterical. It was, he was in sick, right? So I fucking stand outside having a smoke. I hear, Mustang Sally. Who the fuck's that? That's him. And then you can sing. That's amazing, right? Then we'll go here and you'll know how long I'm singing with us still here, right? So I went out for a smoke. And Nev, look me in the eyes when I tell you this, right? There was a man in a wheelchair, both legs amputated, right? told me in detail about how he didn't get them amputated, like, both. It started, big toe on the right foot went black, fucking got cut off. Fucking then the wee toe on the left foot goes black, fucking cut off. Then the fucking ankle starts to go on the right foot, fucking took it off to fuck it. He'd lost both his legs to smoking, and he was telling me about it while he was smoking.
In the smoking area.
I says, fuck that, man. I fucking don't give a fuck. Fucking middle toe started to go on the left foot. It says, well, we're fucking in for the penny, in for 2 feet, eh? I'm like, right. It was hilarious, man. Can't feel my cock anymore. Who gives a fuck? That's how addictive cigarettes are. Like,
that is actually fucking bang on impersonation.
I'd definitely be more addicted to reaching things off a shelf than I am smoking. Do you know what I mean? I used to be addicted to buying shoes, not anymore. Thank fuck for that, eh?
Saved a fortune and can buy fags.
Tell you something. I haven't had the darn sock in 2 years.
Darn a sock. Oh, fuck.
Doesn't take me much to get legless these days, eh? There's pros and cons to everything, son, eh? Don't have to cut my toenails anymore.
No athlete's foot for that boy.
Fucking right. Athlete's hands. That was one of those, like,
fucking mental night.
But no, that bar was the most, because that was the same night. Wigs. I've told that on the podcast before, haven't I?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, that was my my friend Goose.
So every so often, if I'm feeling down, I just shout wigs, and I'm 100% again. Wigs. Huh? Sorry. Mr. Bartlett, we're sorry to tell you the results have come back, and it is stage 4. 2 seconds, doc. Wigs. No ball.
Oh, fuck. Yeah,
a 12-inch black dildo. It's one of the best days of my life.
Oh, fuck. There's nothing beats listening to a culture freaking out about somebody who maybe is transvestite.
But he wasn't freaking out about the transvestite. But it was the ginger wig.
It was the ginger wig.
He didn't give a fuck. The guy was pretending to be a woman. He was annoyed he was pretending to be ginger. That was the thing about it. He was the most woke human being I've ever met in my entire life, apart from if you're fucking ginger.
He was just...
Because that's the way he went. So, for anybody who hasn't heard the podcast before, I'll tell you the brief version of the story, right? So, we're sitting drinking in a bar in Edinburgh with your mate, who was a foreman on a building site.
Yeah.
And he would sort out digs for the builders from Ireland to stay in,
yeah.
right? So, he's telling me a story. I goes in, this boy hadn't torn up for fucking 2 weeks. And I know I'm doing the wrong accent, but
that's right.
I'll pretend it's identity. So, he goes, so I goes around to the digs anyway, and what did I see? I remember, it was one of those moments. So he goes, and what did I see? And you go,
eagerly anticipating.
He goes, there were skirts, bras, women's knickers, stiletto boots, size 12. He goes, there was a 13-inch double-ended black dildo. And I'm like, he goes, that's not all. Wigs. And he went, blonde wigs, black wigs, and this is the moment where it kicked in. Ginger wigs!
Everything was fine.
Everything else up to that was dead on. He was annoyed at 2 things. He didn't go to work, and he was pretending to be ginger. The rest of it didn't fucking blink.
Oh man, we shouldn't be allowed out. Like that's
we should be. It's other people should be allowed out.
There's a reason why we don't do it too often. Like it's always like if it happened the night after the boxing, you know, when you meet people and they're like, "Fuck, 2," and I was like, "Yeah, it's a rarity to get the 2 of us together out in public unless you're walking in fitna." So yeah.
But even when we go out in public, all we want to do is get back to private. Dude, after the live podcast, steaming us fucking. Oh, when you get out of here, it's getting too weird.
Because that is, but then here's the thing. Then I then have to look at the videos the night of the boxing where me and you were trying to piece together when the fuck were we there?
You mean the comedian's Christmas do?
Oh, sorry, Christmas do. Do you remember that night where there was like, how did we end up there and when did we? I'm like, what the fuck? And then the horror sets in of going, who were we talking to? Who do we get photographs with? Who do, you know?
But there's never. I mean, I remember the two of us going. That fella looks like he's treating his woman real bad. Should we bait the fuck out of him? We didn't like.
We didn't because I didn't know how much of a scrapper you were at the time because I thought I wouldn't have much backup. But just now I would take him on no bother, eh? At the time we weren't aware of the.
Connor, if I had tuck into that man, should have woke up in jail.
We never knew the level of lethal force that was within
Comedians
you.
Boxing is available to watch now on YouTube if you want.
That's right. As is our the deck chair.
I'm out of breath.
Deck chair, the throne and yums is up there as well, which is I still
Don't need to
get.
watch that. In fact, watch that first and then watch why I had him so hard.
What's the before and after?
If
If somebody could make a clip of that, would be deadly. Like
it's made. I just haven't put it online yet.
a clip of him slagging you, and then another clip which cuts
his
in,
head
you
going
get
like
head going to get, and then back to him slagging you, and get back.
I need somewhere to piss in the morning.
You need
You're
to
a corpse, Mickey Bartlett. Stuff like that. Don't think I haven't thought about it.
If only you knew how to edit, it'd be done.
And then begging me to get into the bathroom. Fucking beat him gay. That's how hard I.
Oh fuck! Right. So the live podcast.
Live podcast on 20th of May.
Thank you to everybody that's bought tickets so far. We're flying through them rightly. So if you haven't got them yet, get them quick.
Get them quick. They're flying like fuck. Tickets in the Millennium Forum and the Waterfront are on sale now as well. Get them. Fucking Waterfront's flying, so get them quick. Millennium Forum's flying. Get them quick.
Yeah.
Australia, check it out. I'll be all this. Just Google because I have got a website and I couldn't be able to send all the individual links.
Yes.
So type in the city you want to go to see me in and my name into Google. You will then be provided with the information.
Yeah. And there's only one E in Mickey Bartlett.
And it's in the Bartlett. It's not in the Mickey.
There's
There's only one Mickey Bartlett. Not matter. There's a Mike Bartlett writes the bill and stuff like that, but he doesn't do much stand up.
There's a Connor Keys
Get away.
who is famous Connor Keys because he's a Canadian rugby player that I sometimes get tagged as. It's not me. So if you're tagging a Connor Keys that's playing rugby, whilst I would exude athleticism.
You've had plenty of syrup.
Yeah, it's not me. But yeah, it's spelled the same way and all. It's very rare to find that, yeah. So he's Canadian. If anybody knows him, tell him to fuck away off. Give me my name back.
There you go. You heard it here first. Connor wants to fight a rugby player. Or something. I don't know. I'll be in the middle of that.
Any Canadian, I don't care.
Let's go to Patreon and answer some questions. By the way, we're going to answer questions on Patreon, so if you want to get on Patreon. And by the way, you probably didn't see any of that stuff I did with Pedro Pascal if you're not on Patreon.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You should get on Patreon to see
You
that.
really
It's very
should
funny.
see that, because, yeah, so it's worth it.
All the best. Cheerio. Wash your bums.